on the NewsChannel 5 network. This is Inside Politics.
Hello, everyone. I'm NewsChannel 5's political analyst Pat Nolan. Welcome to Inside Politics. It happens in the final weeks of almost every June. Wrapping up its annual term, the U.S. Supreme Court issues a number of final decisions, sometimes in its most controversial cases. The 2021 Supreme Court term has almost ended, and we've asked a longtime observer of the court, Ken Jost, to join us again to analyze what the 9 justices have done and not done so far. Ken, as always, welcome to the program.
As always, I'm glad to be with you. I think the last time I was with you, I was on set. And so here I am via Zoom from Washington, D.C.
Let's look back.
So however many miles, 750 miles away?
Yeah, you worked in Nashville when you began your career.
I did, yes. Indeed, it's 50 years now since John Seigenthaler put me on the court beat at the TENNESSEAN. And I've been writing about courts and legal affairs almost all the time since then.
Let's look back at the beginning of the term this year. Back in October, we had the 3 new justices that had been appointed by former President Donald Trump, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. They were on together for the first time on the court. Many thought we were going to see a quick 6-3 conservative majority, quickly move the court to the right. Has that happened?
That has not happened. So one headline would be, this is not Donald Trump's court. The former president suffered 2 personal setbacks. One, this court did not block the subpoenas that the Manhattan District Attorney issued for Trump's financial records. And so, the upshot of that is that the Manhattan DA has access to Trump's tax records and his tax returns and his financial records, and is trying to make a criminal case out of it. And the other setback was when the court simply refused to consider the effort by the state of Texas to overturn election results in 6 states that Biden carried. And the court, President Trump supported that legal effort, which was really unprecedented. And the Supreme Court said to Texas, you know what, Texas? You have no legal standing to try to tell Pennsylvania how they should conduct their elections. So we're not going to listen to your case at all. And the president expressed disappointment with that. And more recently, just this past week, the Supreme Court upheld Obamacare in a 7-2 decision, with 2 of Trump's justices supporting the decision, Kavanaugh and Barrett. And the former president gave an interview to Christian Broadcasting in which he said, yes, I'm very disappointed in those 2 justices after I fought so hard to get them confirmed.
The 6-3 conservative majority on the court did emerge, I think, on one case involving organized labor. And it appears that in terms of organizing, it might be quite a defeat for the labor movement.
It's a setback for the farm workers union in California. This was a California regulation that guaranteed union organizers the right to go onto, growers' properties to talk to the farm workers and try to solicit their membership. And that was, as you said, a 6-3 decision, and that was divided exactly according to the conservative liberal ideological fault line. And yes, the farm workers and labor unions generally see it as a setback, And considering the court's composition, the decision was not a surprise. You know, there have been occasional decisions that came out other than exactly as expected.
In terms of in terms of the ruling on Obamacare, this is the third time the court has ruled to keep Obamacare in place, the third time in 9 years. Is this an indication, particularly with the large majority, the 7-2 majority, that the court just doesn't want to hear any more cases about this?
I suspect the justices, well, except for Justice Alito. Justice Alito complained in his dissenting opinion. You know, this is, I mean, we in effect, he said, we screwed this up twice before, and we're screwing this up again. And if somebody comes up with yet another theory to try to invalidate the Affordable Care Act, I'm sure that Justice Alito will be, you know, will be sympathetic.
Was Justice Barrett's ruling on this perhaps surprising? A lot of Democrats had thought she would definitely be a vote to overturn Obamacare. They complained about that during her confirmation process. Is this another sign that just because people think justices are going to rule one way before they get on the court, they might do something different?
For sure, you know, and yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Democratic opponents of Justice Barrett's nomination kept saying, you know, right up to the end, she's going to vote. She's going to provide the critical vote to get rid of Obamacare. That's why we have to stop her. And they came close, but they didn't. You know, she was confirmed by a couple of votes, and she joined the court a month late, so she missed 8 or 10 cases. But you know, she's been in place since November, and she has lifetime tenure.
In terms of the 6-3 majority continuing or perhaps becoming more dominant, we've seen perhaps an abortion case coming up perhaps next term. Is that going to be a better judge of exactly where the court is headed? A lot of states have new laws that they think, including here in Tennessee, would be a great test case to overturn Roe versus Wade. Is that going to be the big issue coming up next term?
The abortion case from Mississippi, it will be the headline for the next term, and there will be another headline that matters for gun rights groups. They want to strike down a New York law that requires that in order to get a permit to carry a gun, you need to have some special need to carry the gun in New York. Many states have such laws, and the National Rifle Association, and in this case, in this specific case, you know, a New York rifle and pistol club is suing to get rid of that law, and those two cases guarantee that next term will generate more heat than this term has generated. We haven't had for this term any of the most hot button issues, except for the case that tangentially involved gay rights, specifically the question whether the city of Philadelphia could cancel its contract with the Catholic Social Services Agency because the Catholic group said, we will not place foster care children with same-sex couples.
Ken, let's take a break. I'd like to talk some more about that particular case, but let's take a break right now. We're talking Ken Jost, one of the leading analysts of the U.S. Supreme Court. The court's about to end its term. Back to continue our conversation with Ken after this break.